Before you watch this video, I have to say this. If you're a Battlefield veteran that played Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, Bad Company 2 or any other Battlefield title that ever existed, please skip to the time of this video that is being shown in front of your screens. Because for the first minutes of this video, I'll be explaining how Conquest works in general, and I will presume that you already know how to play Conquest. And if you don't want to hear my horrible accent in this video or just don't have the time to watch the whole thing, you can always check the Symthic website that I linked in the description and the comments below for more detailed information if you want to read yourself. Don't worry, you can do that, I will not judge you. You can always click out this video, just exit it, read everything you want, then that's kinda it. Don't worry, you can do that. I'm not gonna judge you. Except I will cry myself to sleep, but I do that on a daily basis, so no big deal. Conquest is the most popular Battlefield game mode that ever existed. It's what made Battlefield to stand out from its competition, that promotes teamwork between your teammates, and its mechanics that never been changed since Battlefield 1942, the first Battlefield title ever. And the rules are quite simple. Every game starts with a specific number of tickets available to each team. It can be any number, starting from 400 all the way to 1000. It all depends how long the server administrators want the game to go. The bigger the number, the longer the match will last. The objective of the game is really simple. Drain your enemy tickets to 0 and you win the game. To do that, you need to control more flags than the enemy team. Let's say there's 5 flags on the map. If you control 3 flags out of 5, you will start something called the ticket bleed. When the ticket bleed starts, enemy team will be losing a ticket every second as long as you control more flags than the opposing team. The ticket bleed will stop as soon as one of the flags will be neutralized by the enemy team and both teams have the same number of flags. Every time you're being killed, you're being transferred back to the respawn screen. You don't lose a ticket for your team if you're being killed. You lose a ticket for your team when you press the respawn screen, so every time you respawn, you lose a ticket for your team. That's why the medics are quite important. If you're playing as a medic and you see your teammate is being killed, you still have about 7 or 8 seconds to save your teammate. Because you had the chance to save him, he doesn't need to go back to the respawn screen and respawn. Thus, you're not losing a ticket for your team. This is why during really close games, people always shout and scream at their dead teammates if they decide to respawn. Because as soon as you respawn, you lose a ticket for your team. It's all about tactics and it's your call in the end. Do you want to sacrifice your team's ticket and try to help your teammates as a physical presence on the flag? Or you will trust in your teammates, thus giving a bigger chance for your team to win, as you're not sacrificing your ticket to respawn. It's all about decision making, it's always been like that. And that's how Conquest works in general. That's how Conquest always worked in Battlefield.
Yeah, don't spawn.
No one spawn in. They better not spawn in and fucking ruin this shit.
I'm coming. Give me Charlie, give me Charlie, give me Charlie, baby.
We got it, we got it, we got it. Just don't spawn.
3, 2,
Fuck yeah!
good game. Holy shit. I feel like that, the reason why I was so close though is totally my fault because I was like AFK for so damn long.
Over the last years, there has been a huge outcry from veteran players about the new players don't understand how Conquest works in general and basically creating a horrible atmosphere around your team, which is a fair criticism and developers at DICE decided to do something about it, making it easier for new players to understand how Conquest works in general. Now, me and others have our own opinions what we think about these changes, but this is not the type of video where I say what I think. I'm here to explain how it works. If you're really passionate about Battlefield and you have your own opinion and thoughts about it, feel free to check out the Battlefield 1 podcast where we do all-around discussions about Battlefield and where we talk about our honest and unfiltered opinions about the franchise, so feel free to check it out on your own time. So the number one change you see in Battlefield 1 Conquest is that we don't have tickets anymore, we have points. We go up instead of down. You don't start with a designated number of tickets anymore in Battlefield 1, you start with 0 points. And when you reach the maximum number of points, which is again the limit being decided by the server administrators, you win the game. Simple understand, right? Now this is where things get complicated for veteran players. Because the counting system is going up instead of down like your typical Battlefield game, Conquest points are being awarded in a linear fashion and can only be obtained by holding flags on the map. That means there's no ticket bleed, which makes sense as we don't have tickets anymore, we have points. Every time you capture a flag objective on the map, your team immediately gets a point. As long as you own a flag, your team gets a point every 16 seconds. If you capture another flag and you have 2 flags, you get a Conquest point every 8 seconds. If you have 3 flags in control, you get a point every 5 seconds. And if you own 4 flags on the battlefield, you get a Conquest point every 4 seconds. And this is how you obtain points in Battlefield 1 Conquest, and that's how you win the game. You don't lose points if you're being killed, nor the enemy team gets a point. You can respawn as many times as you want and won't have an effect on the entire round score. The The only thing that affects their end result are the flags, and that's how Conquest works in Battlefield 1. I'll be honest, I'm not really happy with the decision DICE has made, but the only thing we can do right now is basically accept the change and come up with the new strategies on how to win games. Physical presence will be really important on the flags. As you put more players on the flags, the harder it will get for the enemy team to actually capture the objective, thus creating a battlefront between both teams and the flags they control. You still can flank the enemy team and try to capture the home flag, and thus create another front line for the enemy team to deal with, but the problem is, like I said, because they're all based on flags, physical presence is really important in Battlefield 1, and if you're not on the flag fighting for it, you're already giving an enemy team an advantage, because your team won't be able to handle the bigger numbers of players that are attacking the objective. And now you have to ask yourself if it's worth flanking the enemy team for their home flag, because if you lose one that is in the middle, what's the point? And in all honesty, I don't know how the Battlefield veterans will feel about this, and this change was made for one and simple reason, to accommodate new players that will be coming to Battlefield franchise, and they need a simple explanation how Conquest works. I know what me and my audience thinks about this, but I'd love to know what you think about this change and how it does affect you as a player. Is it bad? Is it worse? Just let me know in what you think in the comments, and that will be much easier to understand. And on that note, I got nothing else to say. Thank you guys for watching. I tried my best to be informative as possible. Hopefully I haven't made any mistakes or something like that, so if I did, just let me know. And I try my best to explain to you guys how Battlefield 1 Conquest works. So hopefully this video was informative and you learned something, and that's awesome. I'm doing something great, I guess. And on that note, thank you guys for watching. More content is coming as usual, depends how quick I am. And that's kinda it. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.